Back in 2019, actually on August 1st, 2019, Democratic Senators Sheldon Whitehouse and Chris Coons wrote a letter to FBI Director Christopher Wray asking for all of the information about the FBI's so-called investigation into the complaints against Brett Kavanaugh. Now, as you'll recall, a year earlier, 2018, was when we had those contentious Brett Kavanaugh hearings, before his confirmation to the United States Supreme Court. We all remember him bursting into tears, screaming about how much he loves beer. And we also remember the women who came forward alleging that he had sexually assaulted them a couple decades ago. Well, the FBI, as a result of these accusations, launched an investigation. And finally, 2 years after the original letter sent by Whitehouse and Coons, they finally responded. And they admitted that, the tip line we had set up received over 4,500 tips. Cool. So what'd you do with those? That's a lot. I'm sure some of them were, crappy, bogus, whatever. But they did have plenty of credible ones as well. So what did they do with all these tips? Did they go out there, start interviewing people, calling them in, conducting a real investigation? No. The letter says that we just sent the ones we thought might be good to the White House. We sent them to Trump and his people so they could do what they felt needed to be done with them, I guess. And of course, those went to the White House counsel. And then, of course, literally nothing happened. The complaints were not followed up on. They were not fully vetted and investigated. The FBI pulled in a grand total of, 10 people to be interviewed as part of their investigation, which didn't include the accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, also didn't include Brett Kavanaugh himself. So what the hell were you actually investigating? The answer is nothing. They were investigating nothing because they didn't want to find something, because Trump didn't want them to find something. The whole thing was a sham, a complete farce from the beginning. And now there's nothing can be done. There's 3 ways for a Supreme Court justice to no longer be in their seat: death, retirement, and impeachment. Well, Kavanaugh's in great health, it looks like. Younger guy, too. Brett Kavanaugh could conceivably be serving on that Supreme Court for more than 30 years. I would be approaching, 70 years old by the time Brett Kavanaugh finally retires from that court. My grandkids could conceivably be in college by the time Brett Kavanaugh is no longer on the United States Supreme Court. Retirement? Hell no, he's not going to retire. Why would he do that? Impeachment? You could probably say that maybe you've got grounds for that if you could prove he lied during the confirmation hearing. But then again, you'd have to have the will of enough members of the Senate to actually remove him, and I don't think that's ever going to be a possibility at all. Brett Kavanaugh's there to stay. Unless, of course, we put term limits on the United States Supreme Court. Then we can get rid of him in probably, 18 years, I think. But 18 years is better than 35 years, right? And at this point, that is all we can do. That, honest to God, is all we can do. This man shouldn't be sitting on the Supreme Court. The FBI did not investigate credible claims of sexual assault against him, and this is where we are today, feeling helpless and angry because the system doesn't frickin' work. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel for fresh content 7 days a week.